Imagine a political career with surprise entrances, heel turns, audience chants, trash talk, and even a foreign interference plotline. No, this isn't WrestleMania, this is the presidency of Donald J. Trump. From the gold-plated towers to the White House, Trump didn't just blur the line between entertainment and politics, he suplexed it. And if you think this is an exaggeration, just wait till we dive into Trump's real-life history with WWE, his promo-style diplomacy, and that unforgettable showdown with the Ukrainian president. Buckle up. This one's going to be a steel cage match. Before he ever stepped into the Oval Office, Donald Trump was stepping into the ring, literally. Trump's relationship with WWE goes back to the 1980s when his Trump Plaza hosted WrestleMania 4 and 5 in Atlantic City. But things got wild in 2007 during the now infamous Battle of the Billionaires at WrestleMania 23. Trump faced off against WWE CEO Vince McMahon, but not with fists. Each billionaire chose a wrestler to fight for them. Bobby Lashley for Trump and Umaga for McMahon. The loser would get his head shaved. Spoiler alert, Lashley won and Trump shaved McMahon's head in front of 80,000 fans. The moment went viral, made headlines across the world, and was later replayed during his 2016 campaign. But this wasn't just a celebrity cameo. Trump was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2013. Vince McMahon even called him a great friend and a great entertainer. Now that last word, entertainer, is key, because Trump didn't leave the WWE behind. He brought it with him to Washington. Now what does that mean? You see, from day one, Trump's presidency has felt less like a traditional political journey and more like a pay-per-view event. Think about his campaign rallies. He'd walk on stage to the sound of "Proud to be an American," soaking in cheers like a returning wrestling champ. The crowd chanted, "Lock her up," as if Hillary Clinton were a wrestling villain, a heel in the Trump show. And like a wrestling script, there were promos, lots of them. But instead of calling out Triple H or The Rock, Trump called out the press. Fake news. He turned political journalists into ringside adversaries. CNN, NBC, and even Fox at times became part of his drama-filled storyline. He branded the Democrats, Crooked Hillary, Sleepy Joe, Nervous Nancy. It's classic wrestling psychology. Assign your opponent a name, reduce their identity, and own the narrative. But it wasn't just style. It was strategy. Trump mastered the art of populist performance, casting himself as the anti-hero outsider battling the deep state, the swamp, and the fake media. It was politics packaged for cable news and Twitter timelines. Now look at some of Trump's political decisions. Even they had a theatrical flair. Take the travel ban. In 2017, it was sudden, dramatic, and intentionally controversial. Trump signed it on a Friday afternoon, the news cycle's equivalent of a surprise chair shot, and let the media frenzy unfold. Or look at the government shutdown in 2018. 2019, Trump turned it into a standoff over the border wall. He refused to blink, demanding funding even if it meant 800,000 federal workers went unpaid. Build the Wall became more than a chant, it was a gimmick. It simplified complex immigration issues into a visual promise. Like a wrestler vowing revenge, Trump kept repeating the line until it stuck. And who could forget the summit with North Korea's Kim Jong-un? Trump crossed the DMZ in 2019, becoming the first sitting U.S. president to set foot in North Korea. The image looked less like diplomacy and more like a pre-match handshake that could turn into a surprise punch. He tweeted insults at Kim, calling him "Little Rocket Man," and then pivoted to calling him a very talented leader. It was a classic wrestling trope: enemies one day, allies the next, all depending on the storyline. With NATO, he played the heel, accusing allies of freeloading and threatening to walk out like a champ vacating the title. With Russia, he was ambiguous, praising Putin's strength while denying collusion. It felt like a slow burn tag team turn. And then came Ukraine. In 2019, Trump pressured Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky to dig up dirt on Biden's son, Hunter. The call wasn't diplomatic, it was backstage politics, complete with implied threats. You want your military aid, then give us what we need. This set off his first impeachment trial, the kind of dramatic arc WWE writers dream of. Whistleblowers, investigations, conspiracy theories, plot twists, and in the end, an acquittal. But not without bruises. What next? A return match, because guess what? No WWE script is complete without a disputed finish. In 2020, Trump lost to Joe Biden, but he refused to accept the result. He claimed the match was rigged, the referees were biased, the crowd had been manipulated. His final rally as president wasn't a concession. It was the setup for the January 6 Capitol attack, the political version of a locker room brawl spilling into the crowd. He told fans to fight like hell, and they did. The Capitol was stormed. Congress ran for cover. This wasn't WWE anymore. This was real. And yet, in true Trump fashion, he teased a comeback even while being banned from social media, impeached again, and cast out of the political arena. Trump made a return again like any seasoned WWE villain. Trump made a return. And in 2025, against all odds, he won the presidency again. The comeback arc was legendary. He battled legal indictments like they were handicap matches. He rebranded the DOJ and FBI as deep state goons. He went after the media harder than ever, banning certain outlets from his briefings. But this time, he returned smarter and more scripted. He launched America First 2.0, complete with military trials for whistleblowers, deportation force revival, and rewriting parts of the Constitution via executive fiat. On immigration, Trump didn't just build the wall. He built an app to track migrant families and ordered military-level enforcement on the southern border. And in foreign policy, he's back in the ring. He's publicly mocked Zelensky again, suggesting Ukraine is a lost cause. He hinted at pulling the plug on U.S. aid unless Zelensky bows to new terms. He even floated a peace deal in 24 hours with Russia, which analysts call delusional, but his base ate it up like a SummerSlam announcement. To allies, Trump's unpredictability is chaos. To fans, it's classic Trump, the wrestler president who always knows how to flip the script. Whether it's 2016, 2020, or 2024, Trump doesn't debate, he performs. So was Donald Trump ever really a politician? Or was he always a showman, running the greatest kayfabe operation in presidential history? He's been impeached twice. He's been indicted multiple times. He's been canceled, censored, and condemned. But he's still standing, still chanting, still in the ring. Maybe because, like WWE, his fans never wanted reality. They wanted a story, a hero, a villain, a spectacle. And Donald Trump, he gave them the greatest show on earth.